Hey, what's wrong with the girl?
I'm just wondering about our cardiac cycle, Grandpa. Can you tell me a little bit of it?
Of course, the cardiac cycle is very important for us as it pumps blood throughout the body. What do you want to know about it?
Grandpa, what is the resting phase?
Oh, resting phase is the condition where both atria and ventricles are in diastole. Blood is filling both atria and ventricles due to low pressure conditions in the heart.
And when exactly does the next contraction happen?
Good question. The contraction will happen during the atrial-systole phase where both atria contract, forcing the blood into the expanding ventricles.
But will not the blood flow into the atria?
That is exactly why our heart has valves. After the ventricular filling, pressure in the ventricles will cause the atrioventricular valves to close. The closing of the atrioventricular valve is also the cause of the first heart sound, love. That is what we call the isopolymetric ventricular contraction phase.
Wow, that is so cool. Can I guess what happens next? The fourth phase of the cardiac cycle is ventricular adjacent phase. This is where pressure within the ventricles exceeds the aortic pressure, hence causing the semilunar valve to open. Blood in the ventricles will then be ejected through the aorta and pulmonary artery. Am I right, Grandpa?
Well done. That will lead to the final phase of the cardiac cycle. Do you know what it is?
As a matter of fact, I do. The last phase is called the isovolumetric ventricular relaxation. Interventricular pressure will drop below the aortic pressure, then semilunar valve will close, which causes the second heart sound up. However, pressure still has not dropped enough to reopen atrioventricular valve, thus the volume of the blood remains the same. This too marks the beginning of the diastole phase, which then the process will repeat all over again.
You're such a clever girl. Also, the heart's pumping action is regulated by an electrical conduction system that coordinates the contraction of the various chambers of the heart.
I get it. One more question. What actually is ECG, Grandpa?
Oh, electrocardiogram. An ECG is a PKRC complex that is a composite recording of all the action potential produced by the nodes and cells of the myocardium. When the atria are full of blood, the sinusoidal node fires and the electrical impulse travel throughout the atria, causing the pulsation and P wave form. After P waves begin, the atriosystole begins, and PQ segment present the transient travel from the sinoatrial node to the atrioventricular node. The QRS reflects the ventricular depolarization and sinus-firing of the atrioventricular node, and the Q wave corresponds to depolarization of the interventricular septum. The S wave represents the last phase of ventricular depolarization, and the T wave is ventricular depolarization. Now you understand?
Oh, yes, Grandpa. I think that's all that I'm wondering about. Thank you. I learned a lot today.